Hey everyone, we've got two 120 Protos here and we're going to make these terrible sun damage headlights like new again, permanently. Yeah, well it is going to be permanent because it's going to be just like a new headlight, right? So there's a Toyota Genuine System, there's the part number if you want one. I'm stocked up on them so I can tell you the part number because you're all going to go and buy it after this video. All the papers included to rub them back. So the process, follow the instructions, follow the videos. I reckon we've got a few other videos on this. You might get some tips from all of them. So have a search, headlight repair, headlight coating, or whatever it is on our channel. And a lot of people have probably seen them. But long story short, we're going to rub it back. I think it's with this one first. That's 2,000 if you want to make your own kit. But, you know, this kit's pretty good. And then it finishes off with 6,000. They give you a nice sanding block. And then it's a two-part mix. It's just not some spray-on thing. It's a two-part mix that will enable you to do it yourself because it's got these little applicators rather than having to spray it on, and not everybody's a great spray painter and you want to have a nice even coating. So without wasting too much time, you can check out the other videos if you want other instructions other than reading these. Really simple to use, probably easier if you watch the video. So what we're going to do now is get this 2,000 and some water in this pad and rub those headlights back and make them look even worse than they were before. Funny thing is, everyone, right, they say to clean and dry the headlight, but we're using wet and dry, and you can see all the yellow, and look at all that already, all that coming off. I haven't even started and it's all, and that's basically the outer layer that's damaged by the sun. The sun wrecks everything. Just try and keep a uniform kind of sanding, you know, area. Don't miss any bits, take your time. I'm not going to sit here and let you watch me do this for the next 15, 20 minutes. So there's better things to look at. Go and have a look at Steve over there. He's doing the other 120. Oh, those headlights look as good as new over there. I can see them from here.
You can feel the paper working. It feels a bit smoother once it's got all the stuff on.
How many videos did you watch on this, Steve?
I think I saw 3 of them.
What were they called? Do you remember?
I searched up headlight.
Headlight, just one word headlight, and you found the 3 videos.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Simple as that. This is looking so good and smooth. You can just feel it. And these rubber sanding blocks are really good. So it helps follow the contour around the headlight a bit. But when I started rubbing, it was a lot more resistance. So I can actually keep slipping out of my finger though, but it's a lot smoother over the headlight now. So I can I think I can feel that it's good, but I'm just going to try and get some nice long straight lines, although this is not the finishing one. I think it's time to move over to the other headlight. So let's head over there. Passenger side, I've just wiped it sort of clean with the favourite yellow cloths from Costco, you know. If you don't know about those, you better subscribe, turn the bell on. Someone yesterday told me, mate, you got me onto those, they're awesome. Just comparing, even without the coating, you can see how much better, or am I dreaming, how much better that looks. It looks better from here anyway. Both headlights use one of these for each one, but it doesn't really wear down much. So I reckon you can reuse it heaps of times. So not too worried about, you know, whether you keep that and reuse it, but the coating needs to be used in one hit because it's a 2-part mix. But at the moment, I'm just going to move over with a 6,000 and give the headlights a little bit more smoother finish now. So this is the passenger headlight I've just hit with the 6,000. It's still a bit wet, which is another reason why it looks good, but see how it's looking heaps better. This is after the, what was it, the 2,000. So looking pretty rough, but you could put the clear coating on that and it would bring it up good, but better off hit it with a 6,000. That's just got to finish drying, but that's both coating, rubbing done before the coating actually. That's what it looks like. Kind of looks better, but the coating is what it's all about. It protects it from UV, and it's going to be as good as a new headlight, maybe better. Eventually the sun will deteriorate it, but it might take 10 years like the other one. It's not this polished job or these cheap kits that, you know, last a few months or a few years. From what we've seen, as good as a new one. These ones are looking pretty good too, yeah. That looks better than mine. Have to swap your headlights. I think this one might have got new headlights, remember? Did he say something about new headlights at some point? I don't know.
No, I don't remember that.
Not too bad. Oh no, they had headlight protectors. What we need to do next is take this cap off here and inject this liquid, which is 6 ml, into this bottle, which is also 6 ml. So I'm going to give you some calculations that are a little bit different to the instructions. I've done this a few times. Doesn't mean it's the right way to do it, but just found things a little bit different. So I'm going to get all that into there and shake it up. This is the headlight milk. The mix has been made and I've given it a shake up. If you spill it anywhere or put it anywhere you don't want it to go, wipe it off straight away. We're going to use this syringe. It's got measured amount on the back here to put a little bit onto these little pads. It says 2 ml, but I'm going to use 1.5. And if you divide it up 2 cars, that way you're using 1.5 goes into 12 mil, you know, 8 times. So, you know, 2 headlights, 2 coats, bada bing, bada boom. Let's move over to the vehicle and get the coating on. Can't see how much I'm sucking up, but that's all right. I'll just go. That didn't work. I've got a bit of air in there, so I'm going to go again. I'm trying to put in far enough to not get air, but so we want 1.5. That'll do anyway. Put it onto here. Like that. Right, it's all done. I'll just sit that there. Let's go to the car. It's just going to transform the headlights. It's all about getting a good line. I want to get this done within a couple of minutes. I don't want to be mucking around with it, sort of thing. It's like a paint job. I'm not saying I'm the best at it, but I'm just showing you what works for me. You've got to not miss bits though. But I'm concerned about the tape being a bit wet from all the cleaning, so I don't want to get water. You know, when you went to kinder and they taught you to colour in with crayons and all that, it was all practice for driving straight and when it's time to redo your headlights. All right, but that's looking pretty good to me. I just want to make sure. So I don't want to miss bits, but you've got to be careful with these corners here not to come around and have too much on the coating. You want to keep it light, like that. I reckon that's done. What do you reckon, camera person?
Looks good.
I'm going like that, but see, I'll put that there, so just got to be careful where you finish up. But what do you reckon? There's no lumps anywhere, is it? How good's that? Beautiful. All right, passenger side, what do you reckon? Looks all right?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Now, one thing we've learned here, if you get a bit of a thick line, like you can see a bit of a line there, don't worry about it. It'll dry. It's all good. And once your pad's wet, so we don't use 2 mil, we use 1.5, but on the second one I'll use 1.5, and this one's a lot wetter. So you just don't need to. I reckon once you've wet it, 1.5 for the first one, 1.2 for your second hit, and then when you go for your second coat, probably about 1 mil, 1.2, same thing again. That's it, mate. Watch your sleeves there. You don't want your sleeves dragging in it. Beautiful. Like, don't stress about it too much because, you know, it just actually does dry up. It's nothing to worry about. Let's stress about it and try and do our best job. But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter too much. The key thing here is you want to make sure at the end, and I'm not saying you're going to miss it, but make sure you get right all the way to the edge. That cutting in, you know, when you're painting. Did you paint the house yet?
No.
No. So you haven't had cutting in practice. All right, it's looking good anyway. Look at that. This is the V6 over here. I mean, that's getting another coat yet, but how good does that look compared to what it did before? Like I said, like new again. So every time we've done this, every time we've done 2 cars, and there's been plenty for 2 cars. So make sure you get a mate or you've got 2 cars in the family or friends or your neighbour, and do 2 cars. And you could probably stretch a third if you got another car with really bad headlights that are small. You could probably go down to the first application, 1.5 mil, and then 1.2 or even down to 1 mil. And then you'll have enough left there to do a third car. But once you make that 2-part mix, I reckon you've got to use it. You know, it doesn't go, it's good after I've tested after weeks, it's still liquid. So maybe it does last a little bit, maybe I'm wrong, but I would suggest using it pretty quickly just in case it doesn't work out. But, you know, if you've got an old, let's just say an old Lancer you picked up, traded in for $500 because you work at a Toyota dealership like someone I was talking to yesterday, mate, if that needs the headlights done, well, you've got nothing to lose. How's those edges looking?
Alright. The bull bar makes it a little bit
Bull
more
bars in the
tricky.
way. Another reason not to have bull bars. Amazing. Right, thumbnail, here we come. About like that, I reckon. There you go, mate. On the final, this is the last one on the second coat. Nearly done.
Yeah.
All good?
Well,
Any advice for everyone?
yeah, you definitely don't want to get it too wet.
You didn't want to put 2 mil on the second coat, do you?
No.
That was what, 1.2?
Yeah.
And quite wet, yeah?
If that.
Yeah. So definitely enough to do 3 cars. If you backed it off to 1 mil every hit, you'd use 1.5 to wet it up the first time. Use the same sponge instead of using 2. Why would you use 2, right? We just use 1 on 2 cars. It's beautiful. Anyway, a few tips in the video. Hope you liked it. Subscribe, turn the bell on, and come and have a look in Oz Prado Crew, our Facebook group if you're in Australia, and we'll show you some photos of the headlights before and after. And if you're not in Australia, just maybe the Facebook group 4x4 Diesel. And for the people with the V6s, we've got another V6 group there. Hashtag 1GR Forever Crew. Just like hashtag 1KD Forever Crew, 1GD Forever Crew, and whatever. There's even what do we got? Y62 Patrol Crew or something like that as well. So, bada bing, bada boom. Catch you in the next one.